You guys, I just saw this article. Maybe you've seen it on your social media feeds or you've seen it on the news somewhere, but I am going through a type of really insane processing. There's a girl who works nights, is a nurse in state of Georgia. I've linked the article down below, but she was working 3 night shifts, drove home, hit another vehicle with an elderly woman in it, and that elderly woman was rushed to the hospital, ended up having cardiac arrest twice. Ultimately, on her 3rd cardiac arrest, she was pronounced dead. Now, it's really... I've been in that situation where you're driving home from 3 night shifts in a row. And they know at this point that driving with sleep deprivation is comparable to driving under the influence of alcohol. My thought on this and my concern is, what is the solution? What are nurses every single week, every single day that they work a night shift? What should they be doing? Should they be sleeping in their car before driving? This is such a horrific report, and I have such a conflict inside about it, because you thank God that you're not the person that was behind the wheel who is now in jail. Registered nurse. Probably in her first few years as a nurse, she's really young, like 20s, almost mid-20s. She's probably just starting her career, and now her career is probably over because now she's in jail. She's being charged with a certain degree of homicide. I'm at the farmer's market, and these cars freak me out when they're driving really close to my car. I thank God that I've never been in that situation where I'm falling asleep behind the wheel. I think it goes without saying, if you're noticing that you're extra tired, it makes total sense too. I saw this article being sent around in this Facebook group for nurses, and they didn't say anything. They just posted it, and I was like, I think all of us have the same feeling, the same thought, is like, this could have been like any of us. And that's the scary thought, is this could be any of us. How did this happen? How did she not think to pull over the second that she was feeling drowsy, or the second that she was feeling like she might be dozing? I don't know who this girl is, but I feel very heavy-hearted for her. I feel very heavy-hearted for the family of the elderly woman who passed away as a result of being hit. And it's extra close to home because of the fact that there is a family member that I have who went through something similar, where their loved one, 2 of their loved ones actually, were in a vehicle that was struck by a drunk driver. And that changes, when somebody's life is taken by accident, but because of somebody's negligence, and usually the person being negligent isn't the one that loses their life. They're left alive to live with their decision, incarcerated if they're caught. It's one of those things that we have a hard time thinking about. And I have a particularly hard time with this one because this girl was not under the influence. The article was saying that law enforcement officers weren't concerned that she was under the influence at all. you get paranoid because, like I said earlier, this could happen to anyone if they're not careful. Any healthcare worker that's coming off of 3 nights, one night is enough to mess you up. It doesn't even have to be night shift. It has sleep deprivation, and like I'm learning that there's so many deaths by motor vehicle accident, more than we would think, happening every year. And it's very hard to think about this because being behind the wheel is something that we do so often. Every day we're driving somewhere. It really comes down to being responsible, and I think a good steward of what your energy level is. Not just writing it off if you feel like you gotta get home. Like, I think this is a really sad and just horrible reminder of how important this is. Like, it's not just about drunk driving. Like, driving drowsy also kills. One moment you could be saving lives, and on the way home take a life because you're falling asleep. How horrible. Lord, I just lift this family of this woman who passed away before she was supposed to. Her life was taken. Lord, so many things happen every day that we just don't understand, and we need you. Lord, comfort her family. Help them in their hearts to pick up the pieces. Lord, do what only you can do for them. Help them to know you. And restore them, Lord. And for this woman who was in jail, this nurse, Lord, may she find you too. This is a life-altering event for her, and you know what her future holds, Lord. Help her to pick the future that you will have for her. Guide her down that path. Comfort her as well, and help use this as an opportunity to reduce deaths like this in the future in whatever way that you can. Whether it be through this video, whether it be through news reports, fundraisers, any of it, Lord. There are people that need to hear this message. And I encourage you to share this. Share this piece of information, the news article, this video, with the people that you know, especially the relevant ones that you think of. Like, you probably have somebody in your mind right now that you know works nights or is vulnerable to maybe being in this situation. And I was one of those people for so long. Usually it's at the beginning of your career. A lot of nurses do decide to be night shift nurses for the rest of their lives, but a lot of times when you're new, that's not really like something that you would choose as a first job position. Like, you're usually put into that because that's what you have to do. You have to put your time in to get there. So, to get off of nights. And this girl had one of the worst things that can happen. That happened to her. So I pray that this does not happen to you or your loved ones. In Jesus' name. What do you think about this? This is something I have a huge moral conflict with inside of me, just because I know it's I keep saying it, but it's really true. It could happen to any it could happen to anyone sleep deprived. If you're getting in a car, you're putting yourself and other people at risk. How do we deal with this? What's the right call? What's the solution? It's not okay. Anyway, let me know. Subscribe to our channel here. Join our family if you are looking to improve your physical, spiritual, and mental well-being, all with Christ at the center. My goal here is to help equip you to have a better foundation for your entire wellness, because Christ is our rock and we should build everything from that. So stick around and join us if that's something you're interested in, and like this video, share it with people that you know need to see it, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye.